Well, good morning, everyone. I saw this cartoon once on Facebook. It was these two children playing on the floor with the toys, and the one child said to the other, "What do you want to be when you give up?" And I thought, we laugh because it's funny. We laugh because it's true. It's interesting how the ideas and how the world was our oyster at a young age, unfortunately, kind of falls by the wayside as we get into the rat race of life. So I'm having these powerful conversations with people during the coaching process. I ask questions like, what do you want? Now think about that for yourself for a moment. If I was to ask you right now in front of everybody, what do you want, would you be able to answer? Then if I was to ask the next question, I would be saying, what's getting in your way? Or what do you tolerate? When the pressure hits, you're having a critical moment. What habit do you have that emerges first? This is all part of the discovery process. When you ask about a business coach, I understand that it's a bit ambiguous, but the coaching that I do is all about discovery and having those powerful, life-changing conversations that takes you to where you want to be. So when life happens, you don't give up. You push through. Here's a success story that I thought about coming to this presentation that I want to talk about, a client I had about a year and a half ago that he wanted to meet with me and wanted to understand what coaching was all about. He was ready with all his questions. And I said to him, to understand the coaching process, how about I just start asking you some questions about your business and what's going on? We can go through that, and then at the end you can ask your question. He was fine with that. So he started off telling me that he bought the business 13 years ago. And it's profitable, it's doing well. But then he started telling me about retirement. He says, retirement's a problem. I don't see it, and that gives me a lot of stress. My team doesn't seem as bought in as I would like them to be. And if I'm going to reach like double my sales in the next 5 years, I need them to be bought in. And then he gave me problem after problem after problem. When I delved in a little bit about the team buy-in, I was curious about that. I wanted to confirm a few things, and I did. So I told him, I said, to have team buy-in, you want trust. And he says, absolutely. I need them to trust me. But I said, you're micromanaging. Micromanaging doesn't work. Micromanaging means you don't trust them. So how can you possibly create a culture of trust when you're micromanaging? I tell you, he fell back into his chair as if I just punched him in the chest. So I let the silence happen. I wanted to think about this for a moment. It was only about 20 seconds, but it felt like 10 minutes. Then finally he leaned forward, put a smile on his face, looked me right in the eye and said, when can we start working together? It didn't just stop just there. We went a little bit more, and then a week later, yes, we started working together. And then for the first year, the first few months, trying to get those changes was very difficult to make happen. But that's because habit. Wherever you are right now in your life, you are the architect. So if there's something that needs to be changed, habits are generally what needs to happen first. He had to learn how to not be a micromanager. He had to learn how to develop his people. Then he had to learn about creating a sales culture. Then he had to create his plan as far as how he's going to structure his company. I'm happy to say that last summer, July and August, he told me he had record-setting sales, 30% increase in July, and I think August was about 30, 35. He's never seen that before. He's so excited. He comes to work and he says he's excited to be there. He says his team is engaged. He's expanded his team, which he thought was never possible, because again, a micromanager can't let go. So he's starting to see his dream be created right in front of him now. I've been coaching him for a year and a half. He refuses to stop coaching, which is great and good for him. As I said earlier, is when you're your own boss, you're accountable to no one. But when you have a business coach, you're accountable to yourself. That's what happens. When people say something out loud, it becomes real. Have you ever thought of something funny, said it, and it's not funny? Me? Never. But it becomes real. When in that micromanaging conversation, he'll never forget. With his operations people in Calgary, with his operations people here in the Edmonton home office, I coach the leader. Because he believes in coaching. Coaching for him is an investment. He sees it no other way. And he's quite right. See, not everyone needs coaching. You gotta want it. Professional Olympic athletes, they get coaches. Why? Because they forgot how to run? How to high jump? No, of course not. They're good, they got the tools. They're looking for that outside voice that watches them perform and gives them some feedback and provokes some conversation. As I say, life-changing conversations. Talking to every one of my clients, I ask them about that exact situation. When did you have your aha moment? What was it like? What was the first thing that came to your mind as far as the potential changes? Who's the person you want to be? Where do you want to be? If we're not being deliberate, that means you're on autopilot, and that's not going to get you anywhere. You're going to go in a straight line and joy. You know, I had a friend of mine, it's not like he went anywhere, but I have a friend of mine, he's 63 years old, and just out of curiosity, I said to him, what dream of yours in your life has gone unfulfilled? And he said, you know what, when I was a kid, I wanted to be an astronaut. Even into my young adult life, I wanted to be an astronaut. And I went, wow, I didn't really know that about you, which is not true. He's got NASA everywhere. So I said to him, just out of curiosity, I said, what would you give to have that dream come true? And he said, without hesitation, all that I have. That gave me pause. The man is 18 months away from retirement. Without hesitation, he would give up everything if that dream would come true. So when I tell you about life-changing conversation and how that can benefit people, that's not fluff, guys. It's when people get serious about, I know that something needs to change, I want this to have happen, my dream is that important, and I don't care, it's going to happen, I'm your guy. If you're looking for motivation, don't give me a call, because no one motivates you, you can only motivate yourself. But once you're with me, failure is not the option. It can't happen. So you don't want to be in that Pat situation, 63 years old, or perhaps older, saying coulda, shoulda, woulda. Let's grab life and go for it, because tomorrow is not promised anybody. Thank you.